Hey guys, it's me, I'm back. I'm gonna try to keep it, regular videos and stuff, but we know me. For those of you who don't know, I'm Sarah and I have had a haircut. It's all gone. I love it. It's so much easier to deal with, except this bit here. It does not like to go where it... We'll leave it, just ignore it, it's not there. So, yeah, for those who don't know, I am Sarah. I am 25 years old and I have been disabled for the last 3 years. I've been in a wheelchair for the last 3 years. I've been getting gradually worse with my chronic illnesses since I was 16. So for the last 9 years. And so because of that, I use disabled toilets. We've come to a fun one today. So if you've ever been to a disabled toilet, as many of you will have seen this, the red cord. Now legally, these have to be in every disabled toilet and have to be free hanging, reaching no more than 10 centimetres off the ground and ideally touching the floor. This is so that disabled people can reach them when they need assistance, especially if they've fallen on the floor. They need to be able to reach it. Not all the time is this done correctly, whether that's from cleaners tying it up and then forgetting to put it back down, whether it's from people getting fed up of people accidentally pulling it and so them tying it up and getting it out of the way, whether it's from parents when they go in for the baby change, because sometimes it's baby change and disabled toilets. Also, sometimes parents will leave the baby changing table down, which I know is hard when you have multiple kids. Or even hard when you have one kid, let's be honest, kids are hard. But it means when I go in with my chair, I can't get to the toilet. And sometimes they're quite hard for me to push up. I don't know about other people, but that's my experience. It's probably a story for another video, but please don't do that. But in this video, we're gonna have all the stories of different times that I've had different experiences with cords not being correct. So, one experience I've had was no cord at all. There have been times where there's been no cord with nowhere for it to go. There's been that little circle that I know the cord would come out of, but it's just not there. And that's really scary. Because I'm a big fall risk, especially because I'll be washing my hands and then to park the chair up to the thing, to the next to the toilet, and then wash your hands, and then you've got to move the chair to where the hand dryer is. It doesn't always work so well because then you get your wet hands all over your chair and your hands get dirty again from touching the rims. So that's a bit of a faff, and I know it's a bit easier for me because I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user, so I can get up and walk. So I just get up and I walk over to the hand dryer and I dry my hands and then I sit back in my chair. I'm not entirely sure can people who can't get out of the chair let me know what they do usually, because I know when I can't, I sometimes just have to push myself with the chair and then I get really sad because my hands are a bit dirty. And sometimes though the dryer is right next to the sink and it's very handy. But I have before gotten up, fallen, can't reach my phone because it's on my chair, can't shout loud enough, can't reach the cord, and I can't quite reach the door to hit on because I fall in weird crumpled up positions and sometimes I can't get up, and that's really annoying. So no cord at all scares me entirely because I can't fix that. And I've had to go to tell the people and be like, hi, by the way, you have no cord. That is against the law. I advise you changing that. And they're like, oh, what? I am so sorry. Usually, they're quite good about it. Next up is tied to the ceiling. This is a different category from just tied, because it's just like tied in lots and lots of knots, like right up at the ceiling, and I'm like, well, what is the point? Why have a cord at all? Because I can't reach the ceiling to untie that, so this comes under the same sort of thing as no cord at all. Hung up, that's really annoying, whether that's just looped over one bit, hung up all across the side, hung up over so many bits. It's usually when people are cleaning and stuff, or to get it out the way of kids, is what I usually can think of for why you do that, but like, please put it back down. Because while I can, yes, unhook it and stuff, sometimes it's hung up quite high, and unless I stand up, I can't unhook it. And so people that can't stand up can't do it. Tied. We've finally come to tied. So whether that's tied to itself and left like a big loop, which happened to me the other day. Here's a photo. And I pulled on it, and instead of pulling the cord, it just pulled the string down. And so I couldn't pull to make it buzz. It just kept pulling the string. And then I just couldn't get attention. Luckily I could reach my phone and get some help. I've had it where it's tied up in lots of knots where you can still reach it, but not if you're on the floor. So I've had to sit and untie it. I have these little cards that you can get from this site here. I can't remember what it's called right now. And they look like this. And you can clip them onto the red cord, and it says like, please don't tie it up or hang it up. They need to be free hanging, and like, please preferably let it like reach the floor. And like the amount of times I've seen that sign on something when it's like tied up, and I'm like, it says right here, please don't do that. You've still tied it up. And finally we come to cords that are not long enough. So I've seen some that are like this high off the floor, and I'm like, well, that's not 10 centimeters. I've seen ones that come like halfway down the wall, and you're like, that's fine if you're on the toilet, but otherwise, I don't know what use you think you're going to get out of this, because it's not handy. I think that happened quite a bit in Waterloo Station, their disabled toilet. Last time I checked, their cord was way too high off the floor. I did not like it, because it means if I fall on the floor, I cannot reach it. Not that I want to fall on the floor in disabled toilets anyway, because 1, falling is not fun, and 2, have you seen disabled toilets? Usually they are disgusting. So these are my stories with the red cord. I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. I have loads more stories about disabled toilets in general. If you would like to hear them, let me know. I like to raise awareness about this, and I share it on my Instagram on the stories. So I have a highlights bit for disability, where I have shown like all my different things, and it's been really helpful because now I have some friends who have been like, oh, I saw your stories, and now every time I see it hung up, I untie it. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. So that's really cool. And I hope you have learned something. And I hope if you have a business or a place where you have a disabled toilet, or you just go into one and stuff, you bear these in mind. Thank you very much. See you soon.